Hello, Jen here with a layout for the Shotz design team. I am using a traveler's notebook today to do a project. It's going to be a bit of a mini album just documenting all of our camping from last summer. So I'm pairing it with the Cocoa Vanilla Great Escapes collection that I got from Sandy. And then also the notebook came with this little kit. My nephew actually gave that to me for Christmas. And so some of those little papers that you saw all come from that kit. I think I'll probably be able to add those in as well and kind of use that all up, and just gives me a little bit of extra stretch for this collection. The other nice thing about this collection is that it matches really well with the adventure collections from Wild Whisper. So I'll be able to add in some extra ephemera and stuff like that, and just really stretch all of these papers and everything I have from Sandy as far as I can. And hopefully get all of the papers and everything all used up in this fun little album. Truth be told, it's probably going to end up being a couple of traveler's notebooks, or we'll see. I might, cut all the pages apart and find a different way to bind them. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how it goes, but I do have a lot of pictures. So, I'm anticipating that it will outgrow this album quite quickly. So follow me along on this journey. Follow along with me is what I meant to say. Sorry, I was just watching out my window and there were 2 fire trucks and an ambulance that just drove by. It kind of distracted me for a second. We're only a little ways away from the EMS, like local EMS, and so we get a lot of the trucks having to go right past our house, but it's dark outside, and so with all those bright lights, it just distracted me for a second there. So that is the plan for this collection, is to get it all used up nicely in these camping pages. And I'm also going to try and incorporate this month's challenge as much as possible into the notebook too. So the challenge for Shotz in the Facebook group for the month of April is stitching, which I love to do, and I definitely don't do it enough. So I was kind of excited that this was the challenge. So if you want to join in on the challenge, you can head over to the Facebook group. It is Shotz Paper Crafting. I will leave the link down below, and you're welcome to stitch in any way that works for you. So hand stitching like I'm doing here, or machine stitching, even faux stitching, whatever kind of stitching you want to do, that is what we want to see. So you can pop your projects into the album and share and, inspire and motivate everybody. It's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. But, just for yourself, if you want to give yourself the challenge of stitching on your projects this month, then that would be awesome too. So here is where I'm going to be stitching. This is, I think, called a cable stitch. So you kind of come up and then you go right back down into the same hole, and it creates a little loop. And then you're going to come back up through that loop and kind of tighten it, and you just keep going all the way across. I am kind of speeding this up just for the sake of time. So if stitching isn't something you're all that familiar with, please let me know, and I can do a slowed down tutorial for you guys, and just, maybe even do like a real-time video so you can see what I'm doing in the real time it takes me to do it. And, I can kind of chat and explain what I'm doing. I am by no means an expert. I don't have a sewing background. So a lot of what I do is just kind of, make it up as I go and see what works for me. But I do like to, watch other YouTube videos to kind of explain the different stitches and that kind of stuff. So there is a bit of a learning process that I've been taking on. And so I've got, going down the sides, I've got a different kind of stitch. What I did there was the back stitch. So you come up one hole, down into the next one, and then you're going to go up into the next one, but where that gap is, you're going to close that by going back and going back down into the hole. You're essentially making a loop. And that's called a back stitch. So that's kind of, I think, like the official way to do the back stitch. And then here on this side, you're going to see me do what I've always done, which is looks exactly like a back stitch, but it's not technically, I don't think. So I go all the way down the side in one direction, and then I come all the way back up going in the other direction to fill in all the holes. So, on certain projects, that's what I'll do, just all the way around. I start at the beginning, go all the way around. When I get to the end, I just turn around and go the same way I came and fill in the gaps again. So whatever works for you. There's no rules. I'm sure there are rules in sewing, but in paper crafting, there's no rules. You do whatever works for you, but we would just love to see those projects. So if you want to hop into the group and join us, you are more than welcome to. I felt like stitching on the title page or on the cover was probably a good place to go ahead and do that, because again, I'm going to try to really pay attention to the dimension that I'm adding into all of these pages. And so stitching definitely adds a lot of dimension, but I think I will pop it in there occasionally. And like with real hand stitching, and then maybe just do a bunch of faux stitching on the pages where I'm trying to keep them a little bit more flat. And then I'm also going to add some chipboard onto this cover, because again, chipboard is something that I probably won't add a lot throughout the album just because of the dimension thing again. So I figured I'd go ahead and get some chipboard on there. I'm really reinforcing all of this stuff well because it's the cover and it has the potential to get knocked around and squished and stuff. So I really want to make sure that that chipboard is going to stick nicely. It's on top of the embroidery floss too. So just to, give that extra little bit of stick, I'm going to go ahead and use my wet glue, even on the stickers, on anything I use. Just really make sure it's adhered down nicely. Even on these little, I was going to say foam. They're not. They're like little enamel stickers. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that those also are glued down really well so that none of them come off. They're super cute. So I've got those little stickers, I've got the foam words, I've got the chipboard, I've got the sticker sheet, like the 6x12 sticker sheet, I've got the ephemera pack, and then I have several of the papers. So I think I have a lot of stuff to kind of play with. And then of course I have those other bits and pieces that I think will incorporate nicely with this collection, to really spread it out over the whole layout and get all of my camping documented. So I'm kind of excited for that. So I think I've pretty much got this cover done. I'm going to add a little tab here. I think that those are kind of fun to have little elements that you want to like pull on and use it to open the cover and stuff like that. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with these little things. All I see are bowls, and I don't know if that's what they were meant to be, or these like half circles, but in my mind, all I see are bowls. And so I thought, I got to use these in a creative way. And so I put them this way, and now, I don't know, they kind of look like arrows a little bit, like they're facing the direction that tells you want to open up the cover and come on into the album and see what's going on. And so I figured while I'm at this, I'm going to go ahead and do the inside page too, because I really like these cards. And you can see once you put a card down on one of these pages, it definitely takes up a lot of the real estate on that page. And so any of the cards that I think I want to feature really prominently, I want to make sure that I'm kind of adding those where there might not be any pictures, or there's only going to be one little picture or that kind of thing. So I really liked this one that says Adventure Awaits, and it's kind of like introducing the album. So I wanted that to definitely be something that's seen. So it's just going to go on the inside cover. And then this other one, I thought I could go ahead and write down all the places that we went camping. So it kind of is like a little index of what's to come in the album. So that's what I'm doing here. So pretty simple, just adding a few little embellishments, and that's where I added some of my faux stitching. And that's really it for this. You will see this album quite a bit throughout the month, so don't worry, you'll see it in a lot more detail. But that is it for me today. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Happy scrapping. Bye.
What about the channel?